All right. Hello, everybody. At this point, I will be talking about how are you going to write an effective title. I have already seen your tentative sets of title, and I think there are a lot of things that you need to improve, and there are a lot of concepts that you need to understand in making your title. Now, more often than not, when researchers set about writing a paper, they spend the most time on the meat of the article. So these are your methods, results, and discussion, because these are truly the things that you would really anticipate as a reader also, no? Because, well, you are interested on the, say, introduction, but what you really after in reading something is like the content of it. And in the case of journal articles, it's the methods, it's the results, and what are the implications of the study. Little thought goes into the title and abstract. Keywords get even lesser attention. However, when you are already done doing your research, what you usually um, what you usually use to represent your work is of course your title, your abstract, and of course the major keywords. And in fact, that's those are the things that you use when you do a Google search, right? So that's why it's very important that we come up with effective titles, effective abstracts, and effective keywords. So your title at this point that we'll be talking about, it actually plays a vital role in the communication of your research. So without your title, your paper will not be read or even found by interested scholars. So um, in doing also a search, no, what will appear in the search engines would just be the keywords. So that's why you have to shape and frame your title effectively and appropriately. No? So let us go now to writing the title. So this is not really like the most standard one, but this is just a guide for you. And I think this would be helpful that you follow this. So journal websites and search engines will use the words in your title to categorize, no, and display your title or your journal to interested readers. And your title will be used as a first step in determining whether or not they're going to read your title. So if they're searching for article about fish and then your research talking about milk fish and then they want to study tilapia instead, of course they will not they will not anymore read your paper since it's not of the same topic. So that's why according to this reference, a good title is typically, all right, it's typically 10 to 12 words long, but of course it may be shorter than 10 or longer than 12, but this is the typical title, no? Effective title. It's 10 to 12 words. And you have to use descriptive terms and phrases that will accurately highlight the core content of the paper. Like if you're into biology, then or in chemistry, then you have to name the species that you've studied. The literary work you've evaluated if you're into literature and book reviews, and even the technology used when you are into interventions or say instrumentations. So these are, I think you have 3 steps or 5. Let's just say later on in writing your title. Number 1 is you answer the question, what is your paper all about? What is the core of your paper? And then what techniques or design you're going to use and who or what is studied? What were the results, no? Or what are the results that you even anticipate? So let's have these examples. These are the answer to these questions. My paper studies whether X therapy improves the cognitive function of patients after from dementia. Or you will say and then it was a randomized trial. And then you said there were 40 cases from 6 cities in Japan. And then there was an improvement in the cognitive function of patients. So in other words, you have to answer all of these questions. All right. What's your paper all about? What design are you going to use? Who and what is studied? And what what are the results that you anticipate. Okay, and then use your answers to list keywords. So in each answers you can see, you can actually get some keywords. Like in the first answer you say X therapy, so probably that could be like a chemotherapy, or that could be, let's say, any kind of therapy, no? X therapy. That's number one. And then it's a randomized trial. That's another keyword. And then you have dementia. And then you have 40 cases. You have six Japanese cities and improved cognitive function. So from that, you're able to come up with six major keywords. All right. So right after this, what are you going to do with your keywords? You are going to build a sentence with these keywords. All right. So from answering the questions, from filtering out major keywords or keywords, you will have to make a sentence or sentences out of them. So let's take a look how this example went. So it said that this study is a randomized trial that investigates whether X therapy improved cognitive function in 40 dementia patients from six cities in Japan, and it reports improved cognitive function. So in this, we have here a sentence. This is a compound sentence, or yeah, because you have here two sentences combined by a semicolon. So what you have here is, you can have here now the summary or the very core of the research. It captures everything, no, what has been done. And from this sentence, what you're going to do next is you will have to delete all waste words. We call them waste words because these words may be repetitive, no? Or the other thing that you can go away, like you are trying to filter it again, and you try to link the remaining words. So for example, you're gonna cross out um, this study is A, and then that investigates, and then it reports improved cognitive function. So what happens here is you are able to simplify and at the same time remain the core words, the keywords. So it now becomes randomized trial of X therapy for improving cognitive function in 40 dementia patients from six cities in Japan. So you are still remaining the thought of it, but you are just making sure that you get rid of the waste words or the repetitive words. So you are from 28 words, you have now 18 words. And then finally, step 5 is you have to delete non-essential information, and you may reword your previous sentence. So you may say, randomized trial of X therapy for improving cognitive function in 40 dementia patients. And then you can actually remove from six cities in Japan reports improved cognitive function. So from that, you will have randomized trial of X therapy for improving cognitive function in 40 dementia patients. And you can even reword this one into a better title, and you can have a subtitle or like a focus on your results, no? So you'll just say X therapy improves cognitive function in 40 dementia patients. You will say a randomized trial. All right? So basically, that's how you work on your title. So let me do a recap on that. First, you need to answer these questions. At this point, we don't have results yet because this is still a process of proposal. But just try to anticipate the results, or probably have an idea. Or since you're going to extend your study in research 1, probably you have initial results already, no? And then use your answers to list the keywords. And then you build a sentence using the keywords. And then you delete all words that are considered as repetitive and waste words. And then finally, you do another round of deleting non-essential information and try to reword them and try to maintain the core information that you need. So your task now is to undergo the same process, and let's take a look whether you did it right or wrong.